Hey, Cindy and Pete here with the Cindy Wadsworth team. Today we are going to talk to you about what differentiates a successful agent from maybe a not so successful agent with your daily schedule.
So we get the question all the time of what a successful day in the life of an agent looks like. And we thought today would be a great time to discuss that. Cindy, being a productivity coach for over 9 years, has a great concept as to how to make that day a reality so that you can set yourself up for success. Cindy, what's one of the first things you would do in that scenario?
Well, as I tell people when I'm coaching them, I try to make them understand their time. So I use an analogy to the lottery. When somebody wins the lottery, typically 3 years from when they win the lottery, what's their situation?
They're usually back to being where they were before, or worse, maybe.
Yeah,
even
typically
bankrupt.
worse. They usually are bankrupt. And I usually relate that to what a realtor has with time. They've won the lottery of time. Nobody taught that person what to do with their money to be able to invest it and make them more money. It's the same thing with a real estate agent. When they get into the real estate business, they've won the lottery of time and nobody has told them how to use that time. So typically they have a real tough time with their schedule.
That makes a lot of sense. One of the things that I always see from the agents that I coach is they get so wrapped up working on the deals that they're working on with their clients that they actually forget to work on creating new business. So my number one tip to every new agent is you don't start your day until you've created new business for yourself. We don't work on old business or pending deals or anything like that until we've generated some new business. It's the best way to level out our income and make sure we're not on that roller coaster.
Yeah. And I actually would like to take it one step before getting into working on their business and in their business, because every day you should start out with getting your mindset right.
What does that look like?
Well, if your mindset isn't in the right place, there's no way that you're going to be able to get on the phones or prospect in any fashion. So what we have practiced is called the Miracle Morning. Hal Elrod wrote a book, and Michael Mayer actually made it for a real estate agent, so you can relate to it, called the Miracle Morning. And there are 6 things that you do in the Miracle Morning. The premise of it is that you get up 1 hour earlier, which I know is really hard for some of you realtors, but 1 hour earlier than you typically would get up.
It was hard for us too.
It was definitely hard. And spend 10 minutes on each of these items. So the acronym is SAVERS, SAVERS. So do you want to start with S?
Sure. So the first one is the easiest and the most difficult. It's called S for silence. So your first 10 minutes you want to just spend thinking to yourself, just general thought process. And I say it can be the most difficult because it's the easiest time to actually fall back asleep.
Right.
So you want to actually try and get out of bed first before you start working on the silence, and just being in gratitude for the little things you have in your life.
Right. So A, the next one is for affirmations. You want to spend 10 minutes saying your affirmations of what you're going to do, what your goals are, what you're going to accomplish. You can either say them in your head or write them down. I'm always a big person of writing them down because you can, go back and look at them visually.
Okay. And speaking of visually, the V is for visualization. This is another one that I've always had a struggle with, but the reality is you just want to spend about 10 minutes seeing what your future self and your future life looks like, seeing all the good things that are coming into your life, living in a world of abundance, what that looks like, and actually seeing yourself in that time in your life so that you can truly feel it through all your senses.
The next one, E, is for exercise. Now, I know a lot of you do exercise more than 10 minutes, but in this Miracle Morning, for this particular thing, you are only going to exercise for 10 minutes. Whatever exercise means to you, doing sit-ups, push-ups, running in place, going for a quick walk, whatever it is, 10 minutes of exercise.
I'm just trying to get the heart rate up and get the body started that way. So then next is R for reading. You want to spend 10 minutes reading something positive. I try and stay away from the business books and things of that nature and try and focus on personal development, self-help, something positive along those lines, just to get your mindset in the right frame of mind.
And the last one is S for scribing or journaling. And this is where you can just do a mind dump and just journal for 10 minutes on anything that comes to your mind, just to get your day started, get your mind clear, and get your day started.
So between doing that miracle morning routine and then coming into whatever office environment you have set up where you can start your day and your productivity off, generating new income, if you take those few steps, by the time lunchtime comes, you're ready to tackle the rest of your day, put out any fires that might happen, and really feel like you have a good productive start to your day and eliminate the roller coaster income and have a perfect schedule.
Yeah, so one of the things that I do tell agents when they are time blocking, if you don't know what time blocking is, you want to take your whole calendar and block it into times, and you want to be very consistent. The big thing that I see between successful agents and not successful agents is their calendar. I can look at somebody's calendar and see what they've time blocked off and see if they've actually stuck to it, and tell you whether they're going to be successful or not. So the first thing that I tell them in the beginning of the year, just write down all of your personal things. Block out all of your personal commitments for the year, any vacations you're going to take, any time off you have with your kids, whatever it is, block out your personal first. Then you are the big one for blocking out prospecting.
Yeah, and as we touched on earlier, you want to have at least 2 and ideally 3 hours a day dedicated to just reaching out to sphere, past clients, new leads, cold leads, whatever the case might be. Some follow-up time as well, because obviously follow-up's important, and then time to then start working on the rest of your business. That's pretty much the right formula for getting your ideal day set up. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to it?
Well, I just want to reiterate that how important it is to protect your prospecting time. If you have an emergency and you have to erase your prospecting time, you need to replace it, and you need to replace it in that same day, because the further you get behind in erasing that prospecting time, the further you're going to get behind in your business. And what your prospecting time looks like today is going to be what your actual business and your income looks 90 days from now. So you really need to be very protective of that prospecting time.
I love it. Hopefully you found this valuable. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can connect with us at any time. We're always here to help.